Okay, here's Meg here. So this video will focus on the closing, like it's a conclusion video. Um, these are the kind of closing remarks for the install. So I have to say this went a lot more smoother than the third gen one because I kind of knew what to expect. Okay, um, like I mentioned the last time I had a hard time drilling the frame rail. It seemed like the frame rails are softer on the second gen than the third gen. The third gen I was having a real hard time drilling it, and it kept on breaking my bits, or it kept on dulling them. This one, it just went through like butter, but I had fresh drill bits. Okay, so I used the same drill bit for every hole. We drilled about 14 holes. We drilled 14 holes in the frame, so that's quite a bit. So it's about as much as the third gen shield. Okay, um, so in that respect, I did a lot better. It only took me 2.5 hours as opposed to like 6 hours last time, because like I kind of didn't know what I was doing. Plus, I had better tools this time, so the tools, it made everything much easier. Okay, and we'll go over that. We'll go over that in like a minute or two. So when we installed it looks exactly like this. So I'm confident that I installed it properly. There's a little gap right here. Um, so like I said, I wish they'd made it like an inch longer to go back a little bit more so it covers more of the resonator. I don't know why they, you know, I don't know why they couldn't make it closer. Is my thing. So, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it looks like in this picture. That's the way it looks like in this picture. That's the way it looks like in this picture. This is a better picture right here. So that's what it looks like. See. So yeah, it looks the same, right? Yeah. So I installed it to the best of my ability, and I'm pretty sure, I install it the way they intended me to install it. So that's what I want to say. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it took me 2.5 hours. I'm confident I could probably get this done in like, maybe like 1.5 hours or 2 hours, because I was taking my time. I also painted the underbody, the frame rails. So I didn't really need to do that, and that's what kind of took the time. I had to wait for the paint to dry a little bit. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, I've been working on this car all day. I had to install the cat on it, and then I had to install this cat shield. So okay, so the first step was to get the car up in the air, and these are all the tools that I used to get it up high enough where we could work under the car. I did not have the car as high as the third gen Prius, is what I'm gonna say. So last time I jacked the front up as high as I could with this jack here, this SUV jack, just so I could use this tool right here. Okay, and we checked, when I started the riveting part, we checked to see if we could actually use this tool, and no, there was no way we could use this tool because the car wasn't high enough. Now, had I done it the same way we did it before, we used this to just jack up the whole front, and to just use the ramps to catch the car if the jack fails. We probably could have used this, but that riveter was money. That made the job so much easier. I was struggling using this last time, so this it's so easy. You just pull the trigger, boom, and it's done. And you could see it made good rivets. The rivets were all pressed up against there. This tool, you had to really press it up there, and then like you're trying to squeeze the levers, and then try to keep the tool pressed up straight there, flat and everything. And there's a chance that you can rivet it cockeyed and stuff. This one, no, there's no, you press forward and you pull the button, and boom, that's it. Pull the trigger, and then that's it. It just rivets it so easily. So that was totally worth it. If you guys are wondering, I got that tool for $50 at Harbor Freight after using a 20% off coupon. So that was worth every penny, and I can't wait to use it for other projects. So I don't really use Riveter that often, so but now I will, because I got this one now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one now. But anyway, yeah. So what wound up happening was I used this to jack the car up, and then no, we drove it onto the ramps. We drove it onto these plastic ramps because these are lower, and then I jacked it up higher with this. And then we put the metal ramps under the front wheels. because those ones are slightly taller. As you can see, they're like almost like 3 or 4 inches taller. And using the ramps is good because the ramps kind of work as like a chalk block. It keeps the car from rolling forward. You know, that's the safest in my opinion. And then so I moved the jack to the back, and then we jacked the back up, and then we put jack stands under it, and I decided like, hey, let's put the ramps under it. So I put the plastic ramps under the back wheels too. So I had pretty much just the ramps supporting the car up in the air. So the front was higher than the back. The majority of the work is going to be done in like the front, like the middle and front of the car. So you want to get the front as high as you can get. So my driveway is at an angle. So so I parked my car going down. Okay, and then I used a chalk block to keep it from rolling forward. That's what I did. So these are all the tools that I used. I used fresh drill bits, so it was able to drill into the frame rail easily. Like I said, the second gen seems like the frame rails are softer than the third gen frame rails. But there's some other weird tools that I had to use that I didn't use last time. I had to use this cutting wheel to cut that section of the shield out. I didn't really. I don't know what was up with that. It was like really tweaked. So it was a good thing we cut it because it wound up being much more flat on the frame rail. So we used this to take the bolts out in the front, and then I used this drill to drill the frame rail. We used a 3/16 bit to put the rivets in, and then we used the 1164 to put the tapping screws in. And then so these are all the parts that's left right here. It's the tails for the rivets. That's the 8 rivets, and then these are this is the self-tapping bolt screws right here. Okay, and that little piece of aluminum that I chopped off. Okay, so I used this to cut it off. Okay. I also you don't have to do this, but I put some rubberized undercoating under the car on the frame rails before I installed the shield, and then for the rivets I shot this in there before I riveted it. So like there wasn't any bare metal in there. So yeah, and then I used this tool to remove the nuts, but I used this one to put it back. And then I use this to put the security screws in. Oh yeah, there's a flathead. Oh yeah, I used the flathead bit like this. I have to go look for it. I don't know where it went, but I use a flathead version of this to put the security screws in. Okay, I didn't break anything this time, so I didn't break anything. I didn't have to use any extra rivets or anything, so that's good. I don't even think I broke any drill bits. And then I used this air riveter right here. This thing made it so much easier, man. Those 8 rivets went in like easily. Okay. And what did I use this for? Oh yeah. We use this to take the nuts out, but you don't really need it. You don't really need to have one of these. Okay. So yeah, that's all the tools we used. Oh yeah, we use this bit to put these in, the security screws. That's why that's there. So but yeah, that's it. If you didn't have an air riveter, you would have to use one of these guys. Actually, you could use a small one. You don't have to use a heavy duty one like this one. So if you have a small one, because this one only uses 3/16 rivets. So the other kit, the 3rd gen kit, uses 1/4 inch and 3/16. So the smaller riveter I had would have worked on this, is what I want to say. But you probably still have hell of a hard time putting the rivets in. So like I said, this made this super easy. Okay, so it was totally worth it to purchase this tool to do it. Maybe if I install some more shields on the other people's Priuses, this will come in handy. So let me know if you want Hayes Omega to install your shield for you. Yeah. So all right, so that's the end of the video. I think it went pretty well. Other than this thing that we had to cut off here, it came on pretty well. I thought it was going to be kind of floppy and flimsy when we installed it, but once everything is riveted on there, it's on there pretty stiff. It's not going to make any noises or anything. I hope. I haven't taken the car out for a test drive yet, so um, I hope it's fine. Hope it's fine, and hopefully nobody tries to steal my cat. But I can sleep better at night knowing that, hey, my catalytic converter is safer than if I didn't have the cat shield. It's not going to totally, like I said, it's not going to totally prevent somebody wanting to steal your cat. But it'll definitely deter them. It's going to be like literally probably like double the work to get that cat out because you have to take that shield off them. And then they'll just say like, you never forget it. Let's just go find another sucker that another Prius that doesn't have a cat shield on it, and we'll do that one. So, and then yeah, so it's really sad that we got to install these kind of devices on the cars, but well, that's just the reality of it right now. All right, so I got my second gen back on the road. Woohoo! We'll be enjoying putting more miles on my Prius. Okay. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope that was an educational video for you guys. That's how to install a second gen Cap City Mufflers cat security shield. Okay. Supposedly it says your gas mileage may go up because the bottom of your car is flatter now too. So in my opinion, I wish they didn't make that. I wish they didn't make their logo so big. They could have made it smaller. It's such a big cutout in there, man. You could easily get a tool through that, So that's one thing I'm kind of disappointed with. I wish they didn't make this logo so big. They should have made it smaller. Or they should have just added another grill like right here. I've seen the Miller one, the Miller shield. The Miller shield has louvers. They use louvers to like suck the heat out and stuff. In my opinion, I kind of like the Miller design better, but I didn't like that they used the rivet nuts. I don't have a gun that does rivet nuts, so this one uses rivets. But you could have just put rivets instead of rivet nuts, in my opinion. So I kind of like, for the second gen, I kind of liked the Miller cat shield better than the Cap City Mufflers one. I'm not gonna lie. So, but hey, this is the one I got, and they got it to me pretty quick, and I'm pretty impressed with the fit. It fits pretty good. I wish it was a little bit longer though. So, like I said, I installed it in that third gen Prius over there, and it fit pretty well and looks pretty sweet in there. This looks all right. It's really big though. It's really big compared to the third gen one, so it's a lot bigger. But the ones that they're stealing right now are the second gens. But if you had a Prius, definitely get one of these. I think they have one for the fourth gen Prius now also. So all right, so thanks for watching. He's out. Also, so hey, I wanted to mention, like, I just went to the bathroom and then I looked at my face in the mirror, and there's this pieces of metal all over my face. Okay, so if you're doing this job, make sure you got some safety glasses. Okay, safety glasses, even better if you have like some safety goggles. Okay, because the last time I did this on the other car, I got some metal in my eye. And I was still wearing safety glasses, so I would say wears like safety goggles. So, but whatever you do, don't look straight at it when you're drilling it. Like work at an angle. Don't work right under it. Okay. But yeah, I got like pieces of metal all over my face right now. Good thing none of it got in my eye. So that means it did its job. The safety glasses. Okay, so that's one thing I want to point out. Wear safety glasses when you're working under the car. All right. Oh yeah, so I also wanted to mention that so at the beginning of the third gen video, I mentioned like how much I went to the Toyota dealership and I actually asked them like how much it costs to install a shield. Well, they wanted to charge me $225 for the shield for one thing. I got it for $174 straight from Cap City Mufflers. Okay, that's with the tax. So it's like about $50 cheaper if you order it straight from them. Okay, and then. And I don't think they're really making a whole lot of money off of these. I think they're just trying to help people out, help Prius owners out. But what was the problem? Oh yeah, yeah. So to install it, they wanted to charge me $425. Okay, so the shield, I got the shield for 174, and it was $425 to install with the shield. I saved myself $250. So I think that's worth it, you know. Um, and and you know what? Uh, it took me like 2.5 hours to install this. So what? 2.5? So that would be like $100 an hour, yeah. So they charge you an extra $250 to install it, and it took me 2.5 hours to install it. Taking my time, okay. So it was and if you that's about $100 an hour. So that the labor is just about right. Okay, so I don't think Toyota's trying to make too much money off of these, but hey, as Mayor can proudly say, I saved myself $250. And like you know, I mean, I had to take time off to do it, but I would have had to take time off to bring the car to the dealership and have them do it too. So, and the car didn't have a catalytic converter on it. I did the best thing. I installed the cat, and then I installed the cat shield right after. Um, because if I installed the cat and I left it out on the street, somebody would have. Or even if I left it in my driveway, I bet somebody might have tried to steal it. So, it's not worth it. I made sure and install everything all in one day. So, but yeah, so I saved $250 by installing it myself. So, if uh, if you watch this video, this video on installing the shield, and you thought you you think you think you couldn't do it, you looked at the tools and you looked at what's involved, and you don't think you could do it, then definitely pay someone to do it. Okay. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it paying only like 175 or $425 as opposed to buying a new catalytic converter that's like $1,700. So um, yeah, so it's definitely good insurance. So especially if you live in California. Okay, so yeah, that's just some final notes I wanted to make right there. That's how much money I save by doing it myself. So, but if you think you can't do it, definitely pay someone that knows what they're doing to do it. Okay, like Hades Omega. I have to say, I did a much better than last time, man. I did much better than last time. It was still a lot of work for me. Well, it has a lot of work because I have to put the cat in the car. So, but well, yeah, it was kind of a lot of work, but with the tools and the stuff that I learned last time, I'm getting better and better at it. So, all right, all right, here's me out.